In that case, it was said that if the accused departs from guilty, I think my concern is that I'm not so sure whether doesn't he have to finish first in section finish? Doesn't your colleague have to finish first what he's saying? That is for an objection. I mean, you can't do that. You know the procedure. That is to put for an objection. No, the objection, he finishes first. Then he finishes the objection. He hasn't even finished what he's saying. He's trying to quote this case of solicitor. So which is the reason why, but no, in terms of procedure, I cannot take you finish and it object. Please, just sit down. That's all the procedure. Thank you. But as a is this you can object the whole day, but you don't listen to a person until he finishes whatever he wants to say. Then you object. But I let me tell you something. No, but I had the case of one. Then the state is also okay. And that is a good no. I say I've read the case of one. Keswick Holmes sits in the state. This is Zuma.
Oh my lord, oh my lord, oh my lord. That's literally my commentary for today. Okay, Judge Ratha continues, okay, to be highly upset. Nisi stood up to object to Baloyi. What was Baloyi doing? Baloyi, as you know, he brings things in without telling everybody. So he was reading into the record of the main trial, accused number 1, which is Mzansi Unfiltered's testimony that he did under cross-examination or under examination by Advocate Ngomezulu. Okay, so he is reading that testimony into the record. Nisi stands up and says, what are we doing? What is going on here? Judge Ratha is like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And he says, I'm objecting. Why are you objecting while Baloyi is still talking? You know that is not the procedure. Sit down. As we know, Nisi's got a strong heart. Oh my God. God bless his heart. Nisi doesn't just immediately back down. He remains respectful, of course, and explains why he is attempting to make an objection. Judge Ratha said, I said what I said. You need to sit down and allow Baloyi to finish. And then when he is finished, you can object all day if you want. But Baloyi has to finish. What? So that, in my opinion, Baloyi is able to sneak in the information. Even if it is objected or retracted, it has already been said. The court, who is Judge Ratha, has already heard it, because apparently there's a discrepancy between what Mzansi Unfiltered said, okay, in the trial, within the trial, and what Buthelezi is saying now on the stand, okay. Baloyi heard that, and you know Baloyi, he ran with it, okay. He ran. He said, I remember a moment in the trial, within the trial. You know what? Let me bring it back into the record just to show Mzansi Unfiltered is what? Not a credible whatever he says is not credible. So that's what he used that testimony for. Nisi was trying to object to. Judge Ratha said, continue, my boy. Continue, Baloyi, because, you know, today I'm very upset at the defense. I don't care who it is. I am seeing red, okay? I am so upset. You know what? Judge Ratha is so emotional. He should have adjourned the court for the rest of the day. He should have used those powers of his to adjourn the court for the rest of the day, because this judge, he was hot. It doesn't stop there, because next Ngomezulu stands up and this is what happens. So you know what's happening right now. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, because we are at 29,999 subscribers at the recording of this video, and I just I'm watching the counter to see when is our 30,000 subscriber coming in. When are we getting our? We are on the road to 30,000 subscribers, and literally I'm just missing one person. I'm just so excited. But I digress. Let's get back to Ngomezulu. I'll be back with the rest of my commentary.
No. I say I've read the case of Wong. That's what Keswick Holmes sits in the state. This is Zuma. Okay. Then in this case of Michindu, the court left the question open. Then we refer to this case of Sabisa, 1993, volume 2, SSCR 525, and the bench, amongst others, persisted of the former Chief Justice of Zimbabwe, Judge Judicial. Then it was also the Chief Justice Beck and Golden J.A. At page 525, paragraph G to H, and as indicated, my Lord, my police watches 1 and 2 have freely referred to the evidence in the trial. We just want to refer to
what's the list of these?
52 pages. That's counsel for accused number 1 has put it to Constable Butelezi.
Oh, yes.
That he was coached outside the courtroom. That no cell phone was filthy. In fact, it was even put that he's cooking. And these passages are just simply intended to show that what is being put in witness is unfair.
Yes, Mr. Williams. What's your response? Who's coaching him, you or me?
Well, it wasn't specified. It was just said he was just coached outside the court.
Okay.
First, my Lord, I was not even aware that today public judges will take his hand. I was under the impression that my colleague appears when he said that we have this classification. Number 2, I heard from my colleague that they are holding the judges, but there was no mention that they are holding the policies. The judges they are holding is the one that sent money for dance. I was under the impression. To my surprise, hence, when I stood up, I objected to the evidence of the following of the constable judges, but I considered when the procedure was properly followed that he was candidate to be led in the main trial. But my Lord, the fact that I made such allegations or assertions to the witness is because some of the things that I said were sent to Sergeant Report, and they were not taken up as seriously as they take now. And taking such submissions as even the issue of cooking was canvassed to Kenneth Post on the basis that when he made his statement, he referred to one cell phone. And when I cross-examined Sergeant Border, she then talked about there's 2 cell phones. And I asked why such cell phones were mentioned during the trial. So thereafter, Colonel Host made the supplementary affidavit. In the first affidavit, he mentioned only one cell phone, which is 079-379-37, that's 0137. So on the supplementary affidavits, there are 2 cell phones that are mentioned. The one is 060 and the other one is 07. I also canvassed it with certain order to the extent.
Sorry, but Mr. Baloyi is concerned about the message. What about the innards of what you said? In the justice section that you are saying to him, he coached this witness. Am I quoting correct? That's what your learned colleague feels that his dignity is impugned.
No, I don't get me if I was properly understood. I said I was not told that constable judges also testify.
No, that's not the issue.
Yes.
They say he was coached outside the passage. You said,
but I never specified to say he was coached.
Okay, fine.
I never specified
fine.
Any name. I just put it.
And then other stories about this gentleman being told that you are not talking about traffic tickets.
No, the only problem on this, I wanted to be with him. To apologize and say I wasn't supposed to say it. Because I didn't want to justify what I said, which invited me to say such things.
No, but you are used to saying this. Everybody's cooking the evidence, even this judge siding with the prosecution and colliding with the court. I don't know, you're fighting with section 317. Let me read it to you. Can sit down. Can sit down. Because you're not addressing the language you used against your colleague, Mr. Baloyi. You are saying now, you never mentioned anybody by name. I don't know. Maybe Nelson Mandela will wake up from his grave and coach this. But anybody knows you are referring to the state.
No, that's a difference.
Yeah.
I never.
The only reasonable difference. The only person who's using evidence on behalf of the state is Sibande and
the investigating team, my lord, is not the person that you can call it. No, I'm not making an address to Ms. Yalabe. May I not be misquoted? If they get on record and never.
Even if you're going to say one day to the others, you never said Al-Koludi.
My lord, you once made mistakes in apology.
Yeah.
But now I'm
not. But I don't swear at anybody.
No, but I made mistakes.
You're swearing at me. And you're calling me a cheat. You're calling me a nefarious character.
But my lord, you never afforded me an opportunity to retract and to apologize.
Listen, it continues to be a lot. I wish there could have been a reset button where they could have reset Judge Ratha's emotions, because he was still in his feelings, okay? He was deep in his feelings. And is he being impartial in this moment where the focus is on what did Ngomezulu say, so that Baloyi is now reading the trial within the trial 3 pages, okay? That's where his brain should be, but his heart, okay? His heart is still stuck in this man right here called me colluded, and I cannot let it go. And not today, okay? Not on today o'clock. No. And you know what? I'm a whole judge and I am hurt. And it doesn't matter. I'm hurt, but I also don't want him to apologize. We already experienced this last week when Ramasipili called him, when Ramasipili also went after him, and he never spoke to him the rest of the day after the lunch of that day. But in this case, life must continue, but he's angry, okay? He's not giving Ngomezulu silent treatment. Any chance he gets, he's going to throw that down at his throat. So anyway, okay, so Ratha remembers his job, so he says to Baloyi, why are you reading these things? And Baloyi says, well, these passages are to show that what is being put to the witness is unfair. And then Ratha says, yes, Mr. Ngomezulu, what's your response? And then suddenly he forgets his job, and then he says, wait, Baloyi, who's coaching who? You or me? And then Baloyi says, no, it was not said. Baloyi literally said that. Judge Ratha did not hear that, okay? Then Ngomezulu stands up and he says, and then Ngomezulu stands up and says, I didn't know that Buthelezi is coming today. I thought it was Buthelezi, the friend, who gave accused number 1, accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, $500. To my surprise, it's this Buthelezi. So that is where I was coming from. And then he says, my lord, the fact that I made such as assertions to the witness is because some of the things I said to Sergeant Mahola, okay, Mahola was not taken up then as seriously as the state is taking this now. Even with the issue of cooking, okay, I addressed that with Colonel Holst with reference to in the beginning he said 1 cell phone, and then now all of a sudden he's back with a new affidavit and there's 2 cell phones. That's how I said cooking. Ratha says, sorry to interrupt. Remember, he just told Nisi in this same video that don't interrupt someone, let them finish, Remember that? Said it with his own mouth, Judge Ratha. Now he himself is interrupting Ngomezulu, and he says, sorry to interrupt, but... And I'm not sure if he said this, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section down below. He says, but your black colleague, I'm not sure if he said black, okay? But so let me just say, but your colleague feels that his dignity is being impugned when you're saying to him he coached the witness. And Ngomezulu says, if I may be properly understood, I said that I was not told that Sergeant Buthelezi was today's witness. Ratha cuts him off right away because we all know Ratha's going to interrupt, and he said, that's not the issue. They are saying you said he was coaching outside the courtroom. Ngomezulu said, I never said coached by who. Ratha then goes on to say, okay, fine. in that dismissive tone. What about what you said to this gentleman? And Ngomezulu immediately says, may I withdraw that one, okay? And he looks directly at Sergeant Buthelezi and he says, and he proceeds, and he didn't get to finish his apology because, Judge Ratha always has a lot to say. But I want to pause here to talk about Ngomezulu's body language during this whole interaction because, I love to bring that up. So his body language is definitely a one of remorse, shame, maybe there's like a mix of shame and remorse. I'd have to study him further, but I'm going to go with remorse, shame. He's not giving Judge Ratha contact because he knows in this conflict, I'm trying to apologize to this man, but this man is not letting me apologize. So if I give him any kind of eye contact, this might set him off. He might lose his mind. So I think that was a good move. He is not looking at him in the eye. But when he apologizes, and the reason I bring that up is when he apologizes with Ubuteles, he looks him in the eye and he issues his apology. So I think the apology was genuine, in my opinion. And then, of course, Judge Ratha just goes on and on and on and on. Okay? So he apologizes to Buthelezi and he says, may I withdraw that one? I wasn't supposed to say that. And I'm with Ngomezulu. Good job on recognizing that. Whatever happened during lunch, whether his colleagues told him, no, that was inappropriate, or his wife, alleged wife, if that's his wife over there in the courthouse, but something switched, okay? There was a switch, still stuck in his feelings, okay? So he continues. But you are used to saying this to everybody. You're used to saying everybody's cooking the evidence. Even the judge, I'm colliding with the prosecution. You see, he brings up what happened earlier, that he's refusing for Ngomezulu to retract, apologize, or even address. He's refusing, but he constantly can bring it up, okay? And he even says, oh my God, this was where I was like, no, Ratha, come on. And he says, sit down. Let me know in the comment section. I know that we're very divided in the comment section. There's Team Ratha and there's Team Ngomezulu. Okay, I even did a poll on my community tab, and I think most people are on Ngomezulu's side. At least 85% are on Ngomezulu's side. Okay, and then another 11% are they're not on either team because both of them were wrong. And if maybe 3 to 4% are on Judge Ratha's side. So I can't ignore you. I cannot ignore you. But he said, sit down, like he's talking to a child. Let me know if that was professional court decorum from our learned judge. Okay? Then he doesn't just stop there. He says, maybe Nelson Mandela will wake up from his grave and coach this. Now, I've never brought this up before, but he always brings up Nelson Mandela. Always. Comment down below, let me know. And Ngomezulu says, I never said the state is coaching the witness. May I not be misquoted, and can that be on record? And then, that triggers Ratha off. And then now, this is what Ratha says. Even, and I know that one day you're going to come back and say, you never said colluded. It's a lot, okay? And the rant continues. Believe it or not, it doesn't end there.
There's 317. I'm writing the list 317. Section 317, special entry of irregularity or illegality. 1. Even accused is of the view that any of the proceedings in connection with or during his or her trial before a high court are irregular or not in accordance to law. He or she may, either during his or her trial or within a period of working days after his conviction, or within such extended period as may upon application in this section, depending on the application for condemnation, on good cause, be allowed. And same thing with respect that the proceedings as alleged are irregular or not according to law, and such a special entry shall upon the application of such a special entry be made unless the court to which the judge to whom the application for a special entry is made is of the opinion that the application is not made bona fide, or that it is frivolous or absurd, or that the granting of the application would be an abuse of the process of court. So you can make it. I can tell you, in my 22 years on the bench, nobody ever see this. And anything in terms of section 317 ever. Not the judge. Okay, you can make it anytime. That I'm wrong on the law. I said this and this and that and that and that. I still want to see it. Being wrong on the law. Let's say, are you still going on.
I think there was an objection from a kid miss.
Yes, yeah. Objection is on now.
Yes, but my question I want to raise up the fact that we are expecting the obligated capability to re-examine it. To re-examine the witness legal procedure. But now he embarks upon addressing the court and he starts to prepare an argument without any notice the other parties that will be working on that kind of the process.
Okay.
That was my point of clarification.
Sir, do you have any reason?
So, I have this question. My lord, during advocate Baloyi's address to the court, he says, both myself and Mr. MNGOMEZULU have daily replies to the evidence in the chain. My lord, as I've never done such. I concentrated only on the 4th day, the 18th and 19th, the 2nd and 24th, about the movement of accused number 2 to this basis.
I hear it. That movement was alluded to in the trial within the trial.
Yes.
Yeah, so what's the problem?
Yes, but I never got into the merit of.
No, but he says in the trial within the trial, there was a person called Makumulo, etc., etc.
Let's hear him and tell him this is not objection.
But it's fine. Yes, sir. They say this. You don't let me.
The reference was made to the ABL, to the evidence of Makumulo, of Jonathan, what transpired at Moroka and Fosilores police station.
Sure, that doesn't try to try. Yes. So do you have any reasons?
Yes, I do not, but I just wanted to quote this passage in the trial.
No, fine. I think you've answered. Okay.
What can I do so?
Yeah, no.
Yes. These are the proceedings of the 5th of February 2024, and my lord, this is based on the proposition that was put to the witness that no cell phones were found during the arrest of the case number 1, and that this is cooking. We just want to refer to the record of the proceedings of the 5th of February 2024, page 5 February 2024, page 12. This now during the evidence of the case number 1 during the trial, and we quote from line 3. Mr. MNGOMEZULU, okay. Can you please tell the court about the way you were arrested on 30 May by who? Then accused number 1. On 30 May, it was during the course of the day. We were just sitting there with other gentlemen in a certain house on certain premises. Mr. MNGOMEZULU, yes.
Listen, it's a lot, okay? It is a lot, but let's get through it. Judge Ratha, of course, okay, because he's the judge. He does what he wants in his own courtroom. Goes on to read section 317, and at the end, oh my God, you really see he is still enraged. He's going to be enraged, guys, for the next month. It's gonna be a month. It's gonna be a while before he lets this one go, because he's not allowing an apology. He wants to, beat this thing down till it's dead. So he says at the end of reading section 317, I'll do a separate video on section 317. I've seen your request, guys, but I didn't want to mix it up here. So he says you can make your 317 anytime about this judge, okay? And he points to himself. Remember, body language. And then he says about this judge being wrong. And he throws the book, and then he says, never. Let me tell you, he is enraged, okay? His character, he feels that his character was wrongly characterized, even though we see it all the time in the courtroom. He has no clue, okay? Nobody has ever told him in 50 years that, dude, that's inappropriate behavior. So has hurt his heart so much, okay? Then Nisi finally gets to do his objection. Remember his objection from that time ago? Yeah, finally gets to do it. Ramasipili also does his objection, but he doesn't even follow through with it, because we know Ramasipili is like, you know what, this is too much work. You know what, never mind. Ramasipili always does the never mind game, but it's Baloyi I want to end with. Baloyi, then Judge Ratha says, yeah, continue Baloyi, because, Baloyi gets to do everything he wants. Baloyi continues, and Baloyi's like, listen, I'm here to do my job, and I'm here to win, okay? I do not care that people's feelings are hurt. I'm just going to say cooking one more time for emphasis, okay? And then he goes, yeah, because of that reference to cooking. Oh my God, Baloyi, really? Really? And what is hilarious, guys, is at the end of recording this video, we have reached 30,000 subscribers. So if you have made it this far in the video, we're at 30,000 subscribers. drop a 30K down below because I am so happy. But what's more important, it was not possible without you. Thank you so much. You guys have my heart and you're part of my VIP gang. So make sure you drop that 30K down below. Thank you so much. I will catch you on my next upload. You guys are awesome. Remember to like the video before you leave today, and I'll catch you on my next video. Thanks for watching.
Accused number one was not there. They're busy now. That's why one will be tempted to say they are cooking, they are manufacturing day in, day out, so that it can fit what the state wants to do. Because I can tell this court now they don't have a case. I'm not